go. Still setting up. Oops. Here we go. Just waiting for everyone to turn up. Okay, what else have I got to do? I feel like I got a million different things on the go here. Okay. Hello. I'm just waiting for everyone to turn up. There you go. Okay. I'm doing lives. I'm going to be doing lives. Let me see. Today at 4 my time, Pacific time. And let me find what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to be doing a live today and tomorrow at 4. And then Saturday 10:30, this is all Pacific time. Sunday 9 a.m. and Monday 9 a.m. My daughter put them all in my calendar. Okay. She just tells me what to do. I just listen to her, or most of the time. Okay. I just listened to our podcast today. Was that released today? Yeah, I guess so. It was talking about what lessons learned from our mothers. So I talked about what lessons I learned from my mother, and my daughter talked about what she learned from me. And there's a funny story in there too, which does not make me look good at all. Anyway, if you want to check that out, the podcast is BratBusters Parenting. So let's get going. I got a few people here. Have I got anyone on YouTube? Yeah, I got a couple of people on YouTube. Whenever I'm doing a live, I'm on YouTube the whole time. That's where I save all of my lives. And then I usually hop from Facebook to Instagram, and then TikTok. So anyway, that's the way it's going right now. So, okay, I'll just introduce myself. My name's Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. I'm a mom. I'm also a grandmother. And you can check out my website, BratBusters.com. You can see my free behavior board, my courses, which the Mother's Day sale starts tomorrow morning, 10% off, just on the courses, not on coaching. And it starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow and ends 8 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, Tuesday the 13th. So it's 10% off the Mother's Day sale. Anyway, we do that every year. So anyway, let's get going with your, and you can look up, sorry about that, Linda. When are your one-on-one coaching opening up? I don't know. We're going to try and work on it. I'll tell you what okay. Coaching has been really difficult lately because I've got a huge wait list and I'm just booked solid. So we're trying to figure something out. I don't quite know, maybe group coaching, or I don't know what we're going to do. But I haven't been able to take on a new client for ages because my current clients often rehire me. They work with me often, over and over again. So that's why. But we're doing the best we can here, trying to figure it out. So yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so let's get going with your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them as always. And I was just saying, check out the podcast, BratBusters Parenting, across all the platforms. I really like the one we did today, that we put out today. It was on mothers. It was a sort of a Mother's Day special. What I learned from my mother, what my daughter learned from me. Okay, you're a grandma. Hi, Kathy. So am I. I'm a grandma too. Okay, so I'm in week 1 of beginning a leader, and the tantrums are lasting at the longest 2 to 4 hours. Son is almost 3 in 1 month, and I have a 1-month-old. I'm in week 1 of becoming a leader. So is that the boot camp course, or you're just using the free behavior board? Son is almost 3. Oh no, so you wouldn't have the behavior board. Lasting the longest 2 to 4. Okay, are you ignoring tantrums, Tracy? This is on YouTube. Are you ignoring the tantrum really effectively? Make sure you're nearby and you just look casual, like you're filing your nails. You're just waiting for it to end, but don't look at him and don't talk to him. So either going for 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, they can go that long. I think the longest tantrums that I heard was this kid. He was having them for 4 hours or something. And he was older and he was making himself sick and everything. He was mad that he wasn't getting his own way. So yeah, we had a lot of work to do. It was hard. Okay, your name's Lisa too. Excellent. Do you know most Lisas, their middle name is Marie. So Lisa Marie. There's a lot of Marie. Marie is a really common middle name, or it was back in the day. I don't know if it is now. I want to learn everything you know. You do not want to know what I know about accounting and stuff like that. Believe me, my accountant would attest to that. Parenting, piece of cake. Accounting, yeah. Okay, I'm just following you from social media. I'm ignoring with a poker face. Good. Okay, good for you. Oh, your name is Marie. Isn't that funny? Lisa Marie. Yeah. There were 7 Lisas in my school when I was growing up, and 6 of us were Lisa Marie. I can't remember what the other one was. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Tracy, just keep at it. Hopefully it'll work out for you. But yeah, it's tricky. Some of them are just destined to have tantrums. It's something in their DNA. They're born to have them or they're never going to have them. It's a temperament. You're born with your natural temperament. Okay, so it's not your fault that they do tantrums, but it is your job to train them out of them. And you ignore tantrums just by filing your nails or whatever, wait till they're finished, and then you go, oh, you all done? You want to go read a book? Like, in other words, that did not affect me at all because they do it to get what they want, when they want, and how they want it. And part of what they want is your attention. So you've got to ignore that. Never feed it. Any attention is tantrum food. You're like fertilizing it if you give it any attention. So I'm just going to read out. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. And I like to throw in, I mean, I do answer questions, but I also like to throw in just standard information that doesn't always come up because people always ask me about discipline. I'm not about discipline. I do it, but that's not what I teach. I really am teaching connection with your kids. My goal is that your kids feel good about themselves. When they feel good, they do good. You want to give them pride. You want to give them high self-esteem. When they feel good, they do good. So that is, and you got to address the bad behavior, but don't focus on it. You focus on the good kid and connecting and playing with your kid, especially with little kids. Their love language is play and fun. Okay. These are my top 5 tips for parenting toddlers, and toddlers are in the discovery stage. Okay. They're just discovering their world, themselves, everything. So this is number 1, childproof your home so you never have to say no. Number 2, set up a toy rotation system so they're never bored. Number 3, you connect with toddlers in their world, not yours. You don't take them to the nail salon. You go to the park and roll down the hill with them. Number 4, you discipline a toddler. Oh, I spelled that wrong. You discipline a toddler in their world. Actions, not words, because they're not about words. They're all about actions. So stop at the many therapy sessions discussing all the bad behavior and everything else. That's not for them. That's for you. Number 5, stop trying to figure them out. Toddlers are not figure outable. They're brand new, fresh human beings. They haven't formed yet. They've got one marble and some tumbleweed floating around in there. They have no common sense yet. I always call them crazy, but they just haven't developed sanity yet. They're just forming. Okay, so I'm just waiting for your questions. Okay. Any tips on how to get a 19-month-old off a passy? This is Madison. Pacifier, dummy. I used to call it dummy, soother, whatever you want to call it. What I did with my son was, and I was already a leader, so it kind of helped. He already knew that when mom said something was going to happen, it was going to happen. Doesn't mean he always liked it, but he knew. He just knew. So I think that kind of contributed to how easy this was because he normally did have tantrums, but it worked a charm. I couldn't believe it. I got him to help me. We collected all the dummies. We put them all in a plastic bag and I carried him. He was 18 months old. I carried him holding the plastic bag full of dummies and I carried him out to the garage. I opened up the wheelie bin lid and I said, okay, bye-bye dummies, throw them in. He threw them in and then I closed the lid. He never asked for a dummy once. Every time throughout that, and I did buy him sippy cups too, like new sippy cups, something else to put in his mouth. And they had these straws, whatever. So I replaced the dummies with something else. He peed a lot that day because every time he'd want a dummy, he'd pick up a sippy cup full of water and drink it like crazy. Anyway, but every time he'd go like this looking for the dummy and he'd look over at me, I would look away instantly. There was no way I was going to get eye contact with him when he was looking for that dummy. But yeah, it worked a charm. I was quite shocked at that. I'll be quite honest. I think I was lucky too. But yeah, you gotta just pull it off like a Band-Aid. You can't just have pacifiers at night. Or maybe when he's upset. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it. They don't understand exceptions. It's got to be all or nothing with toddlers, especially. It's kind of like, it's not like this really, but I remember I knew someone who was trying to quit smoking and she decided that she was only going to allow herself to smoke in the car. So she thought, that's great. I'm going to quit smoking, but I'm only going to smoke in the car. Well, the joke became, gee, she drove a lot. She ended up pretty much living in her car. She'd get up first thing in the morning, take her coffee out, sit in her car and smoke. So, you can't have a little bit of something that you're addicted to. You just got to cut it off. Cobblestone, Devon, England. Hello, Claire. Nice to meet you. Okay, teenager who just runs over me. How do I lead strongly? She is 14. We don't lead strongly. You lead calmly. Okay, I'm going to read out my top 5 tips for parenting teenagers. They're actually my favorite age. Okay, this is teenagers. Number 1, listen to understand and show empathy. You don't listen to gather information to lecture with, or they will shut you out. If they want your advice, they'll ask for it. They already know it anyway. Number 2, negotiate as much as possible. Hey, I want your dirty clothes in the hamper from now on. What do you want from me? Negotiate. Number 3, don't sweat the small stuff with teenagers. If they do something stupid, just say, well, that was stupid. Do you want to hear what I did when I was your age? Or do you want to hear what I did this morning? And laugh it off. It's okay to make mistakes. Number 4, don't leverage the good times to discuss the bad times. When do you discuss the bad times with your teenager? Never. What's the point in discussing their bad behavior? No one's ever come up with a good argument for that, ever. What's the point in discussing bad behavior? Too many parents do that. I don't know. Oh, I went off on someone today. We're talking about that. I just went on this huge spiel. She goes, okay, I get it. I get it. When do you discuss your kid's bad behavior? Never. Okay. Now, but you deal with it. You have a consequence for it, but you don't discuss it. Okay. You can say, okay, that was bad. Here's your consequence, but that's it. Now, and then number 5, with teenagers, you can be a right fighter or you can be happy. I put that, actually, it's funny because we're just updating our courses. There's a big sale starting tomorrow morning with the boot camp courses, 10% off over Mother's Day. You'll see it on the website. Starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. Anyway, I did put a little blurb in there about teenagers, and I didn't add that you can be a right fighter or you can be happy. The reason is that the course is not about teenagers. And I know that if I started on that rant on that course, because we're updated the whole course and videos and everything. And I thought if I started on that rant, I would just go on and on and on. So I left that out. But what I mean by you can be a right fighter or you can be happy is there's no point arguing with a teenager. None. I don't argue with kids or anyone really, but there's just no point. So you can be a right fighter or you can be happy. When you are arguing with your teenager, you're usually right, by the way. Not always, but you're usually right. You know it. They know it. The arguing is absolutely useless. Useless. So you can be a right fighter or you can be happy. Okay. Do you have any advice for an autistic? Okay, I don't give any advice with children with special needs on here. That would be coaching. So yeah, I'd have to assess the situation. Where are they on the, how are they mainstreamed in school, or I guess she's 3 years old, but yeah, I need to know a whole bunch of stuff. So. I'm going to tell you the story that happened at the park the other day. I daycare my granddaughter 1 day a week, and she's only 16 months old. Anyway, I'm at the park with her the other day, and I'm climbing up these stairs with her, but I'm holding her 2 hands. She's walking a little bit, but it's these steep stairs. So I've got both of her hands, and I'm behind her walking up with her. So these 2 4-year-old boys were racing around the same big gym equipment there at the park. So they were trying to race up and get past us, but it was too narrow. And there was some openings where the ropes went down and that. It was kind of dangerous. So it would have been very dangerous for them to push past us. Well, this one little 4-year-old was literally trying to shoulder me out of the way. So I put my leg down and I blocked him because I was, I didn't want him knocking my granddaughter off this thing. So, and he kept trying again and again. And I said, no, wait till I get the baby up. It's dangerous. So anyway, finally he gave up. And then what I did, though, is when he was with a little friend, a little 4-year-old, and the other little friend had waited. So I said to the other little friend, I said, what a good boy for waiting. You're such a lovely boy. You're so polite. And he's like this. And the other one didn't like that. He wanted to get some compliments, too. But I didn't say anything to him. I let it go. So what I was waiting for was I thought the next time, we were all going up and down a lot. So the next time I went to go up and he wanted to come down, he just looked at me. And he goes, he said, okay, I'll wait for the baby. That was my moment. I said, what a good boy. Aren't you good? Aren't you? And it built him up. I deal with bad behavior, but then I focus on the good kid. I did not say, don't you come down again. That's focusing on the bad behavior. You see what I mean? So I focused on the good kid. Anyway, what was really cute was some other kids came along and he goes, don't go, wait for the baby to come up first. So he was correcting everybody else too. Isn't that cute? Anyway. This is cute. I'm a full-time grandma also. I'm not a full-time grandma. I'm just part-time. They came to live with me, and boy, am I out of practice. 2 and 4 years old. I'm almost 70. Yeah, it comes back pretty quick, though. But yeah. Takes a while, right? I mean, I haven't looked after a baby in 30 years, and now I got a granddaughter, and it all comes back. It's wonderful. It's like you get to relive that again. I love mothering. It was the most joyous time of my whole life was raising my kids. I just had a blast. Okay, my nearly 4-year-old is having major anger outbursts when he doesn't get his way, together with issues of frustration, blah, 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 throwing toys in preschool. Okay, he needs a leader. You got to work on your leadership skills. Start with my free behavior board. That's the training wheels with all this. If you want to get the course, the Mother's Day sale starts tomorrow. It's 8 a.m. Pacific time. Then it ends 8 a.m. Pacific time on May 13th. I got to think of a better way of saying that. How many days is that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's only 4 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Fun. So wait a minute. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it goes for 5 days. Anyway, it's on the website. You can see that if you're interested. Anyway, but yeah, you got to up your leadership skills. He's just screaming for a leader. That's all it is. That's a tell. If he's acting out that much, he doesn't respect anyone. He also doesn't respect himself. Where's his pride? Where's his self-esteem? It's in the toilet. You want to increase his self-esteem, make him feel good about himself, and he will do good. Like that kid I just talked about at the playground. He was really difficult when I first ran into him, trying to literally push back. I mean, he was aggressive. He was a strong little kid too. He was literally pushing me, shoulder checking me, trying to get it past me. And yeah, and then by the end of it, he was telling other kids not to bother me, like with the baby. So yeah, he needs a leader. Your child needs a leader. It's all I teach here is leadership. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through so that that's my point. Okay, can you expound? I have never said that word in my life, expound. Do you mean expand or expound? That's another word in itself, isn't it? I've never used it. Okay, I'll just say, can you expand on what you meant by don't discuss your child's bad behavior? You deal with it. You say, okay, you hit your sister. Here's your consequence. The end. What more could you possibly need to say? Aside from berating, shaming, bullying, blaming. Discussing all the bad behavior is going down the bully path. What's the point? You hit your sister. Here's your consequence. Done. Done. That's what I mean. Everyone wants these big discussions around bad behavior. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. What's the point? No, if I start going on about that, I won't shut up. So I can feel it. Yeah, I can feel it now. I get like this, and I get really passionate about something. Yeah, don't discuss bad behavior. If you can come up with a good reason to do so, no one else has ever come up with a good reason, so maybe you could. And some of my clients are child psychologists, teachers, principals. Most of them discuss bad behavior. They'll argue it with me too, but no. No point. This is interesting. I talk a lot about leadership and how important it is. You're like a mentor, someone that your kids look up to, someone that brings out the best in them. You make them feel good about themselves. They have high self-esteem because of your leadership. Okay. I once worked with this teenager who was in real trouble, and he said to me, or she, I can't remember if it was a boy or girl, said to me, my parents didn't love me enough to make me a good person. Wow. And you know, every single troubled teen I've ever worked with has said, I wish my parents had been tougher on me growing up. They don't want it now. They don't want the discipline now. But they identify discipline is love. And discipline is not blaming, shaming, yelling. That's not discipline. Discipline is, okay, you made a mistake. Now you're going to make amends, but here's a consequence. It kind of goes like that. There's no emotions in disciplining. It's like a business transaction, 0 emotions. But when you're connecting with kids, you're laughing, you're goofing around, you're doing arm farts, you're just crazy. Okay, that's when all the emotions come up. But when you're disciplining, business. How to deal with a toddler and a baby. Can't help you with that because it's so physically demanding. I can't minimize your physical demands right now. That it's really about the physicality. I do have clients who have a toddler and a baby, and it's more investing in the future almost, but also never take your eye off that toddler around the baby either. They don't understand concussions and danger, and they just don't understand all that stuff. So it's not really their fault if they hurt the baby. They just they're not there yet. They don't understand health, wellness, all that stuff. They just don't get it. So yeah, you're just in the height of the physical demands. I'm going to mention again, there's a sale starting tomorrow morning with the boot camp courses only, not with coaching. Sorry, coaching's been closed for about a month now. I'm just booked solid. So hopefully that'll open up. Gosh, we're trying to figure it out. Okay. How to do this. Yeah. If you've got any suggestions, we're just inundated. I actually doubled my coaching prices so that the demand would slow down, and it doubled with the price. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, yeah, we're trying to figure it all out. We'll figure something out. My daughter is very clever. She'll figure something out. I'm not clever, but she is. Okay. Actually, I have to move over to Instagram now if you want to join me over there. And I'm on YouTube the whole time. That's where all my lives are saved. My name's Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go on my website, BratBusters.com, get my free behavior board, my courses. The Mother's Day sale starts tomorrow. It's on the website. And you can also look into coaching, but also check out our podcast. My daughter and I do it together. She works with me. She does all my social media, all my marketing, and all my planning. She does not work for me. She's independent. Believe me, it's more like I work for her. She tells me what to do, and I usually do it. Not always. Funny story quickly. She told me something to do. She was here working on something on my computer. She goes, Mom, while I'm doing this, I want you to go and do that. She's very driven with business, and I'm kind of a little bit dopey. So anyway, she says, Mom, what are you doing? You know what I did? I went in the other room and I was darning a sock. And she goes, this sums up our relationship. She's all business. She's very driven. She's very organized. And I'm off in a corner humming and darning a sock. We thought that was pretty funny. It kind of sums up our business relationship. Anyway, I got to get going over to Instagram if you want to join me over there, or you can go to YouTube where I save all these lives. Happy parenting. Bye now. That was Facebook. Now I'm going to Instagram. What the heck? Come on, there we go. Okay. What do you do if this is a good question, Rebecca. This is on YouTube. What do you do if a consequence is needed at bedtime? Do you postpone bedtime for a chore? Oh gosh, no. You just say, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't even discuss what the consequence is. You don't even have to say anything at bedtime. The next morning you can say, by the way, bedtime such and such happened last night. So here's your consequence. So yeah, you never discipline at bedtime. Yeah, I'll wait till I get about 100 people in here before I introduce myself on Instagram. I get a lot of new people coming in too. Oftentimes, if people come in mid live, they think I'm a psychic. I don't know why that is. Anyway, it's funny. Someone said to me, "Will I meet the man of my dreams in the next year?" I'm a parenting coach. I don't know. Okay, so I'll just introduce myself. Welcome to my live on Instagram. I'm on YouTube the whole time, by the way. I hop from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. But I'm on YouTube the whole time, and that's where all my lives are saved.